As controversy continues to trail the four tax bills before the National Assembly, Nigerians have been advised to remain calm and allow their representatives do the needful on the bill. A cross-section of respondents in their reactions to the controversy maintained that regarding tax administration in the country. Correspondent Koluju completes the story.
The four tax reform bills proposed by President Bola Tinubu have stoked anger among Nigerians, especially from the north, with groups in the region demanding suspension of the passage of the legislation. The bills, the Joint Revenue Board of Nigeria, Bill 2024, SB 538, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill 2024, SB 584, the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill 2024, SB 585, and the Nigerian Tax Bill 2024, SB 586 are currently before the National Assembly. The executive bills presented by the Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele during the Senate plenary on Thursday passed second reading with the Senate President Godswill Akpabio presiding. This was done but without opposition from some senators. At the end of the deliberation, the bill scaled through the second reading. Some experts have said majority of those criticizing the bill have not read the provisions and were only amplifying falsehoods being circulated by uninformed interest groups.
You see, there is already an opposition against that tax reform bill from the northern people. However, I think it is proper for them to sit down and look at it critically as to what that tax reform bill is seeking to correct, because there is a lot of anomaly in the tax collection system of this country. Because I know what Mr. President is trying to do is looking at a situation where people who pay more tax should enjoy the dividend of that tax. And it will also create a healthy competition for other people to accept what ordinarily they were running away from and look at possibility of raising more money for the development of the country. In any case, it has to go with what the people want, because already there are segments of the country that are challenging or are against that tax reform bill, particularly from the northern people, from the northern part of the country.
Increase the percentage accrued to the state that collects VAT. If we make it 95%, then you will see 95% of what is shared among states, not what goes to federal government. For example, if it's 50-50, federal government can get its 50% because it's a federal government. But now the new law should be states out of the 50%. The state that generated this VAT revenue should keep 95%. Then bringing 5% to the center. When this is done now, you see everybody will stand up. You understand? I've had stories on the social media that the tax generated in Lagos is supposed to be shared equally because Lagos used to be our capital and this and that. I disagree. Because being former capital does not make it stay capital. So what you have to do is also generate revenue yourself. We cannot fold our arms and want someone else to be making effort for ourselves. Look.
Some Nigerians said the bill as introduced will remove some bottlenecks, adding that those criticizing the bill have nothing to fear.
Giving heat to collection of tax on those prohibited areas, I think it will just be just unfair for them to enjoy that dividends. Because if you said you will not take alcohol and you are taking money from alcohol, you are indirectly taking it. You understand? So, but in any case, we are looking at the social and religious context of the whole thing. So it is going to pass through at the end of the day, but I know the opposition will be there. But when we all sit down to ask and think about it properly, I think the tax reform bill is a welcome idea, development.
Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world. If we can work hard. I've said it. It is all about working hard. But we can't work hard when everybody runs to the center and collect money. If we say, look, whatever you generate, keep 90%. And whatever the center brings will be proportionate to what you have given to the center. You see, tax revenue will increase. But because oil is the source of revenue, everybody says nobody owns the oil because nobody works for the oil. The oil is natural. And we're not even the miners, we're not even the processors, we're not even the refiners and things like that. We have to come to a point in this country to modernize, to ensure that people do the right thing. I mean, state governor should generate revenue because the revenue will help them solve a social problem, solve infrastructure problem, and make their state the more competitive and attract more investors.
It is expected that the 4 bills, when passed, will not add to the existing burden on the necks of the masses, but will enable the masses to breathe. Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.